Hello everyone, it is April 12th on a Sunday, and I've been preparing for the last week to make a Beavertail flower essence from one of the cactuses that are currently blooming on the property that I live on. So there's been a couple different beavertail flowers that I've been visiting and checking in with, and I've been photographing them to see the way their flowers bloom. So I'm going to include with this a little photo essay of sorts of the progress of a different beavertail. I decided that I'm going to use this one because this one is actually, like, my property that I live on is right here, and the other one was technically on someone else's property. So for, you know, like, property is theft obviously, but you know, just to be ethical about it, I decided to work with this one, and this one is blooming a lot more. There's a lot of really beautiful purple flowers, and they do produce like an edible food that were used, and as you can see, they're attracting a lot of bees, and there's a ladybug in there and some insects. And I'm starting out, I'm not sure yet if I'm going to actually take any of the petals and add it to the water, because one of the methods you can use for flower essences is to just place a bowl of water beside the flower and say your intention. So I couldn't find, when I was doing a little bit of research with information from flower essence sources, there's like some ones that work specifically with desert flowers, and then there's Flower Essence Society, and there's Bach Remedies. I couldn't find anywhere that talked about a beavertail flower essence. So I thought what we would do in the Plant Witch mentorship course that I'm teaching is I was just going to make a little beavertail flower essence, and I was going to send a little bottle to each one of the people in the course, and we were going to do our own little case study. And one of the things about doing a case study with flower essences is that we're taking on like the spiritual property of the flower. So we're not actually we're not actually like taking a physical medicinal dose, like if you were to take, for example, fire cider, and you're taking like a whole dropper full. You wouldn't be using that much because you're not looking for like a physical medicinal effect. Flower essences are about like the spirit dose, about like ingesting the vibes, the like essence of the flower. So what does this flower make you think of? For me, I think when we look at any flower that grows on a cactus, we have to think about resilience. We have to think about resourcefulness, because we know the way that cactuses live is that they're very resourceful with water. So I feel like any flower essence really is going to be about that. It's going to be about embracing cycles of life. It's going to be about embracing, how you don't bloom year round. You bloom with the, depending on the right amount of elemental magic, sun and rain and soil. So, it really has to do with that, I think. But what I think I'm going to do is take a little bit of one of these petals. I feel like that's going to be okay. And what I want to do is take one of the younger petals and one of the older petals, because that represents more of a cycle of life. Hi, so I just spent a few minutes meditating with this beavertail, and I took a few notes just about like the keywords that I feel about it, and then I went and I grabbed some of the some scissors so that I could cut a couple of the petals. And generally speaking, I would say that it's good to cut a whole flower, but I don't feel called to that because these are so rare and beautiful, and I don't feel like I need a whole flower to capture the essence. So what I have is just this 2-ounce amber bottle, and if I was going to make a flower essence that I was going to use for client work or to make an elixir or release an essence, I would do an 8-ounce bottle, but I'm not really looking to do that. So I got these scissors, and since I have them for everyday use, what I wanted to do to clear them is use elemental magic. So basically what I did is I first I washed them in water, and then I sprayed them with a yarrow hydrosol, and that's kind of like a cleansing energy, and it's a air energy as well because it's a flower. And then I held them over a candle, and then I washed them again. And if I wanted to do like the earth element, I would bury them overnight, but we're not going to do that today. So let's see what I'm going to do here. This flower is right here. This has been the one that's been right underneath the water. So I'm gonna go ahead and take one of the outer leaves, just saying thank you to it. Thank you so much, Beavertail. You have just allowed me to use one of your leaves. I have no idea how this video is gonna turn out. You have just allowed me to use one of your outer leaves. And then what I want to do is take one of the inner leaves, and I think I'm going to take this one from this flower right here. And it's cool because like I see a ladybug, there's all kinds of bugs, there's bees, and then there's like these desert dandelions, which are in the sunflower family, that are all around it. So, you know, all of these things are being captured in this essence. Thank you so much, Beavertail. You are such a strong and resilient goddess. So what I want to do is just sit here for a little bit, and I'll show you all the surroundings if I can see. This is the property I live on. And right over there, that's the entrance to Joshua Tree National Park. Someday I will get professional video and audio equipment, but I want to show people this because I'm a working witch and low budget everything, and I know a lot of you are too. And don't buy into a myth that you have to buy expensive equipment to do any type of witchcraft. So I'm going to come back, I'm going to do a little meditation, a little writing, and then I'm going to come back and show you how I'm just going to take a few drops from this bowl and preserve it. So this has been such an amazing and blissful experience. And again, if I was going to make this flower essence for like mass consumption or to save it, I would take, you know, all of this water. But I just want to thank you again. I did some like writing, reflecting. I feel amazing right now. This plant is amazing. But, you know, who knows what will happen when I take this as an essence, and when the Plant Witch mentees take this as an essence. Maybe we'll have like a completely different experience. But just sitting with this beautiful pink flower, it also makes me really ready for Taurus season, because pink is the color of Venus. So yeah, I'm just taking a few of these drops. I mean, this is only like a little bit, maybe like 1 milliliter. And then I'm going to add to this some fresh water and some honey brandy. I'll take a couple more drops. And the brandy is just to distill it, or sorry, not to distill it, to preserve it. Because, you know, like flowers do disintegrate a little, even though this essence was only made over like an hour and a half or so. So now I have this Beavertail essence, and I'm going to thank this plant. I know like after this experience, I'm going to be coming back to this plant over and over again, and to Beavertails in general, to continue to give gratitude. So the making of this essence was only one part of my relationship with this, and I'm sure it will continue to expand as I take the essence. So thank you.